Hello everybody, it's Mr. Shear here. We are going to be in this video making the demographic transition model. We're going to be using our textbook to get our information, how to make it. I will be showing you on a clipboard exactly the final product and then how to make this. This is an assignment that's going to be due next week. So you're going to be uploading it to Schoology like you did with the population pyramid. And we're just going to go ahead and get started with the demographic transition model. Make sure you have a few things necessary. So you'll need your pencil to be able to draw the lines. You'll need a ruler to help you draw these lines. You'll also need 3 colors. So for the demographic transition model, you have red to indicate birth, you have blue to indicate death, and you have brown to indicate the natural increase rate. If you don't have these 3 colors, make sure you label the colors that you do end up using. You do need 3 different colors. Okay, so we're going to start off here by creating just the graph itself. You'll just need paper to do this on if you have line paper or graph paper or ideally computer paper, but not necessary. You're going to use that to create your demographic transition model. So we're going to start by creating our y-axis. I'm going to put this again. We have up and down y-axis to indicate, in this case, is the birth and death rates, and then we're going to have our x-axis below across the page. I'm actually going to draw it as kind of a square, or sorry, a rectangle, I guess it would be, because you will have numbers on the right-hand side as well as the left-hand side of the y-axis. So I will draw that portion of it, and then we have the top. So I will go ahead and label it to start. Demographic transition model. And we're going to have our 5 stages at the top. Okay, so let's start with the stages. So at the very top we have stage 1 to start, stage 2, stage 3, and then stage 4 and 5 are going to be a little bit closer together as they are shown on the graph here. So this is kind of what I have so far. I wrote my stages at the top, and I also have my graph. I'm playing around with this camera a little bit, so hopefully it's accurate and you guys can see everything I'm showing you. All right, let's go ahead and do our y-axis here. So this is on the left side. We are showing birth and death rates. I'm going to go and label birth and death rates per 1,000, because again, we calculate them based on per 1,000, whatever birth rates are. Per 1,000 people, death rates are per 1,000 people. And we're going to indicate this from 0 to 50. So this is easy if you use inches here to help calculate this. So I'm going to measure with my ruler every inch. Zero, 10, 20, 30, 40, and then last 50 inch up the y-axis. And then on the other y-axis, on the other side, we're showing the natural increase rate. This is going to correspond, as you can see a little bit on the graph. 0 is around 0, then 1 is around a little bit below 20, 2 is kind of between 30 and 40, and 3 is a little bit above 50. So I will show you on mine how this is done, just so you're clear. But you don't necessarily need the ruler for this part. And then we have 3 is a little bit above 50. And then on this side, this is our natural increase rate. And this is in percent. So again, I showed my natural increase rate on this side, corresponding with my birth and death rate percentages on that, or numbers on that side. So again, 0 is at 0, and then you have 1 is going to be kind of a little bit below 20, 2 is going to be between 30 and 40, and then 3 is going to be a little bit above 50. I know it's hard to see on this. Hopefully you can also look at the graph and get a better idea of what it looks like. So I create, at this point I've created the y-axis. I'm just going to go ahead and create the x-axis below. So we have low growth is going to be stage 1. Stage 2 is going to be high growth. And this is again referring to the population. So because birth and death rates are so high for stage 1, there's low growth in population. Death rates decrease in stage 2, and there's high birth rates. That means the population is going to significantly increase with high growth. Stage 3, you start to see the birth rates decrease. So we start to see decreasing growth. Stage 4, we have low birth rates, low death rates. So we have low growth again. And then stage 5 is decline, where you have birth rates even lower than the death rates. So you have a declining population. So again, I have created my x-axis with the growth down here, the stages at the top, my birth and death rates, 0 to 50 on the left side, my natural increase rates, 0 to 3 on the right y-axis. Now I'm going to actually create the graph, all that setup. So we'll start with our birth rates. That's going to be in red here. And as you can see, based on the population, or sorry, the demographic transition model, it's going to fluctuate between 30 and 40 in the first stage. So it's going to kind of go up and down a little bit. So I'm actually going to draw a line between the stages so you guys are clear where the stages end and where the next one begins. So it'll give us a good idea. So again, I created these lines between them to show where they end and where they begin. So we'll start with our birth rate. So it's kind of fluctuating up and down between 30 and 40 in stage 1. And then going to stage 2, it's going to stay pretty high around mid-30s. It's going to kind of go up and down to mid-30s. And then by the end of stage 2, we start to see a decrease. And by the end of stage 3, it's going to get to about 12 or 13 range. So your line needs to come down from about 35, 37 to 12 or 13 pretty consistently. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And by the end of stage 3, I'm going to be around 12 or 13. It's going to continue to go down till about a little bit under 10 throughout stage 4. And then by stage 5, it's going to kind of flatten out under 10. So I have my birth rate here, fluctuating between 30 and 40, up and down a little bit in stage 2, and then significant decrease in stage 3, continue to decrease a little bit in stage 4, and then evens out a little under 10 in stage 5. Okay, let's go ahead and now do the death rates. Death rates are going to continue to fluctuate as well in stage 1, jumping over 40 at one point, under 30, and then kind of going between those until it gets to the end of stage 1, and in stage 2 you start to see a decrease. So by the end of stage 2 we're at about 10. So there's going to be a significant decrease in death rates in stage 2. And then it's going to level out a little bit more, around a little bit under 10. It's going to be close to 0 by the end of 3. Obviously it's not 0 because people are still dying. And then it's actually in stage 4, it's going to start to go up again. It's going to kind of match where birth rates are by the end of stage 4 and go a little bit above birth rates in stage 5. So we see our fluctuation, our significant decrease, and actually increase a little bit in stage 4 and 5, matching birth rates. Make sure to label these, so I'm going to go ahead and put birth rate for our red, death rate for our blue, and then the last one we're doing is our natural increase rate. So this is again showing how much the population is increasing. In stage 1, high birth rates, high death rates. Population's not increasing that much because at the same rate people are being born, which is a lot of people, that's the same rate that people are dying, which is a lot of people. So the population increase is going to go up and down a little bit, but it'll stay around 0. And that's exactly what happens here. It's going to go up and down around 0 all the way through stage 1. However, once you hit stage 2 with our death rates decreasing, this is where we see a significant increase. And this number is going to flow all the way up to around 50 on the left side, but that's about the natural increase rate around 3% on the right. So the natural increase rate, again, is on the right. That is 3% by the end of stage 2. By stage 3, you see a decrease in birth rates. It's going to start coming down to about 1.5 by the end of it, and shoot all the way down below 0 by the end of stage 5.